It's my first day of the 4th grade, and I notice there are very few Black kids in my new town. As I walk into class, I spot 2 other little Black girls, so naturally I gravitated towards them. I approached one of the girls at the lunchroom table. Sitting across from me, she looked at me up and down and said, "Your hair is so nappy." I quickly realized the desire to get to know each other wasn't reciprocated. All the white kids were staring at me, but honestly, I don't even think they knew what that meant. But they did know that it wasn't a compliment. I yelled at the top of my lungs, in my head, of course, "My hair is not nappy." With tears welling up in my eyes, I sat there with white bobos and beads on the tips of my hair, beautifully twisted down to my ears, handcrafted by my mother. As soon as I got off the bus, I ran home as fast as I could. I flung the door open. There was my mom, in the kitchen as usual, shaky, nervous, and sweating. I looked at her. "Mom, do you think you could give me a perm?" I showed up to school with a fresh Dominican blowout, a burn mark on my left ear, and a determination to show these little uppity girls my new, fresh perm. Now, my mom didn't give in so easily. I mean, I practically had to beg her for weeks. I sat between my mom's legs on the floor. She leaned over and said, "Now this is gonna burn, you got it? I don't want to hear all that crying." I don't ever remember being aware of what I was really getting myself into and the damage this was going to cause my hair, but I didn't care nothing about what she was talking about. Man, the moment that creamy crack hit my scalp and I felt that first perm burn, I said, "Is this supposed to burn this bad?" I sat in front of the air conditioner and cried my eyes out, trying to cool off my head after she washed it out. I felt my hands glide through my hair like I've never felt before. Once I saw the look on their face, that look, I can assimilate too. As a matter of fact, I can be one of the prettiest Black girls in this school. I had several scabs all over my head from not heeding my mother's warning about scratching my head the day before getting a perm. But for some reason, I thought it was still all worth it. But then something happened. When I got on the school bus, there was another little Black girl, and she looked familiar. Our eyes locked. "Adralice?" I remember hugging her and just being so excited to see somebody that I knew in this new school. Kelsia from summer camp. I hadn't seen her in so long, and we both grew a couple of inches since the last 2 summers. Within my excitement, I noticed she had beautiful white bobos and beads on the tips of her hair, beautifully twisted down to her ears, handcrafted by her mother, and I absolutely loved it. Throughout the years of elementary and middle school, I always admired how she stayed natural and all the cool hairstyles she'd come into school with. She was one of the very few Black girls, if not one of the only ones, that hadn't had a perm by the 8th grade. I couldn't give up getting a perm. I couldn't give up fitting in. Her parents put her in a swim club, and she was often at meets or early morning practice. She had always invited me to learn how to swim or come to the pool with her over the summer. But I knew my hair wouldn't stand a chance. And just, I didn't want to get my hair wet. At the time, natural hair YouTube was taking off, and I felt inspired, so I did the big chop. Experimenting and learning how to do my hair as a teenager was super embarrassing. I felt like a baby doing my hair naturally for the first time. How long does it take to dry? Am I a twist out girly or a braid out girly? Hair masks, oil treatments, kitchen concoctions, curl types, and porosity. You can't forget porosity, and so much more. It's senior year of high school. My cousin and I go to the beach, standing knee-high in the water as the waves lightly crash into my back. I wave down at my cousin to come deeper, but of course, not too deep, because I don't want to get my hair wet. But her face looked concerned, and then it turned serious very quickly. She locks eyes with me and yells my name. My heart sinks to the bottom. By the time I turn around to see if there's a shark, I'm knocked over by what looks like a 15-foot wave. The strength of the wave rippling through every part of my body. I was being thrashed around like a rag doll, and I knew it was bad. Trying to gain control of my arms to swim upwards with no use or luck, I just decided to relax until it was over. It felt like forever. I gasped for air above the wave, and I couldn't believe I didn't just drown. I look closer to shore, and there is my cousin with half of her bathing suit off, face down, also caught by the wave. She sat up, looked at me, and yelled, "Your hair!" Coughing up water and running back to shore, I didn't hear her at first. Then pointing to my head, she said, "Your hair." I knew my wig was in the sea before I even grabbed my hair. I was truly more embarrassed that neither of us could swim to save ourselves, more than about my 22 inches of Brazilian wavy floating in the sea. Black American kids are 6 times more likely to drown than white kids in the United States. And I almost just became one of them because, I just didn't want to get my hair wet. Honestly, it's kind of an ick. Like, how are you this old and you still can't do this life skill? It's even worse when I'm at a pool party, amusement park, or boat, and I can't have fun the way everyone else can, and I know they can see it too. It's freshman year of college, and I need a physical ed class to complete my requirements. My advisor sitting across from me says, "Why don't you try swimming?" That same summer, I had watched an influencer that I love and her grief story. Her son had drowned, and it completely captivated Black Twitter and Instagram. He was alive on the ventilator for weeks, and we were all praying for a miracle until he wasn't. I got lost in what seems like a 400-long thread about other Black women also sharing their grief about their own child's passing due to drowning, and this deeply disturbed and impacted me. I looked at my advisor and I said, "Sign me up." I realized that I didn't need to sacrifice looking good. I just needed to learn how to manage my natural hair while doing it. So for hours on end, I looked up styles that would be suitable for consistent swimming. But that wasn't enough. I also needed products that would support me on my hair journey. There is no way this story could have been possible without our sponsor, Pattern Beauty. So I'm going to highlight 3 standing ovation products that helped me with my hair as I learned how to swim. The first being the Deep Scalp Detox, which helped me lift any dirt from my scalp without having to remove my mini twist or braids in between wash days. The second is the heavy conditioner that I use on my edges and on the tips of my hair that gave me a little bit of protection against the chlorine. And lastly is the Moisture Milk, which helped with maintaining frizz after getting out of the pool and having my hair hydrated, honestly, for like up to 5 days. Now, these products helped me so much, so I'm giving them all away to one of you. All you have to do is like and comment on how this story has impacted you. Good luck. Every splash and stroke, there lies a story of empowerment, safety, and opportunity. For many Black kids, learning how to swim isn't just about mastering a skill. It's about overcoming barriers that have historically kept us from accessing a life-enhancing skill. Yes, I said life skill. Not a chore or a hobby. I truly now see swimming as a life skill to be able to enjoy the ocean with my family and friends without fear of death or worrying about my hair. All because of the representation of a little Black girl on the school bus with white bobos and beads on the tips of her hair, beautifully twisted down to her ear, handcrafted by her mother. If you love storytelling and you want to connect with women from around the world, I want to invite you to join my guided weekly private story circles. Every Thursday, 5 to 6 of us gather on the Soul app to share our stories and experiences in a safe and supportive space. Now, you guys have always been so supportive of all the stories that I share here on YouTube, and now it's time for me to hear yours. So check out the link in the description to join us next Thursday. See ya.